Hi, I'm Laura. I never thought owning a family restaurant would lead to having my arm broken, but here we are. It all started 7 years ago when my older brother James married Karen. At first, I thought things would stay peaceful, but Karen had other plans. Your aunt owns this restaurant, sweeties. You should always get served first. I overheard Karen telling her kids, Tommy and Lisa, during their first visit after the wedding. They're good kids, really just caught up in their mom's drama. The problem started small. Every Sunday, Karen would show up with her family during our busiest hours. Why isn't there food here yet? We've been waiting 15 whole minutes, she'd exclaim, oblivious to the fact that other families have been waiting much longer. Sarah, my best friend and our head server, always tried to smooth things over. The kitchen's backed up today. Everyone's getting their food in order. Well, everyone else's children aren't the owner's niece and nephew, are they? Karen would retort. At first, I kept the peace. James would give me that pleading look, and I'd cave. But last Sunday, everything fell apart. We were packed, celebrating the local team's championship win. Every table was full. The children are hungry now. Karen stormed into the kitchen, dragging Tommy and Lisa behind her. They hovered awkwardly by the door, clearly embarrassed. You're making them wait while serving complete strangers. Karen, please leave the kitchen. It's not safe. Don't tell me what's safe for my children. You think you're better than me because you own this place. You've always looked down on us. I tried to stay calm. Everyone gets served in order. That's how restaurants work. Her face twisted with rage, and before I knew it, she grabbed my arm. You'll serve my children now. Let go. I tried to pull away, but she twisted harder. The crack was deafening. Tommy screamed, and I hit the floor. The next thing I remember, Sarah was calling 911 and James, finally, was yelling at Karen instead of making excuses for her. Now I'm sitting in the ER, waiting for the doctor. Sarah's here, and my phone won't stop buzzing with messages from my parents. But this is it, the last straw. Karen's perfect mama bear facade is about to shatter, and I won't stop until everyone sees her for who she really is. The hospital staff took pictures of my bruised and broken arm. The next morning, my parents watched the restaurant security footage. I wasn't there, but they told me Karen's face went ghost white when she realized it was all on camera. I knew she had issues, but my dad couldn't even finish his sentence. They'd always tried to welcome Karen into the family, even when she was difficult. Now they were finally seeing the real her. My phone buzzed. A text from James. James, can we talk? Me, depends. Are you calling to make excuses for her again? James, no, Tommy won't stop crying. He thinks it's his fault you're hurt. Lisa won't even look at Karen. I sighed, poor kids. Me, tell them their Aunt Laura's okay. This isn't their fault. Word spread quickly in our small town. By Tuesday, regular customers were dropping off get well cards. Mrs. Chen, who's eaten lunch at my place every day for 5 years, brought her famous soup. My daughter showed me the video on Facebook, she said quietly. Wait, what video? I asked, nearly choking on the soup. Turns out Sarah had had enough. She posted the security footage online. The video went viral in our community, not just the attack, but Karen's entitled rant beforehand. Her perfect mama bear image was crumbling fast. You always take her side. Karen's voice rang out from next door that evening. She was at James's parents' house, probably expecting them to smooth things over as usual. I was protecting my children, she cried. From what? My mom shot back, learning to wait their turn like everyone else. Your precious daughter put my daughter in the hospital. Dad's voice followed. Get out of our house. My phone buzzed again, this time from Lisa's tutor. Hey, this might not be my place. I stared at my phone for a long time after reading the tutor's message. The perfect family image Karen worked so hard to maintain was collapsing, and the biggest cracks were coming from the children she claimed to protect. Send them to me, I typed back. It's time everyone saw the whole truth. The next morning, James stopped by the restaurant. He looked like he hadn't slept in days. Slumping into a booth, he let out a heavy sigh. The kids are staying at Mom and Dad's, he said. I can't believe I let this go on for so long. Your kids were scared of her, James, I said, my voice sharp. Their tutor sent me videos. He rubbed his face with both hands. I know, I've seen them. Lisa showed me everything on her tablet. Karen, she'd completely lose it if they got a wrong answer on their homework. I thought I don't even know what I thought anymore. Sarah, ever perceptive, brought him a coffee without asking. She'd known James since high school. Remember when Karen threw a fit because Tommy wanted store-bought cookies for his class party instead of her homemade ones? Sarah asked softly. She made him cry in front of all his friends. James nodded, his voice barely above a whisper. She said he was embarrassing the family. My phone kept lighting up with messages. One was from Karen's closest friend, Caroline. I always knew something was off, she said over the phone. Last month, she screamed at my daughter for beating Lisa in the spelling bee, called it sabotage, and banned the girls from playing together. The stories didn't stop there. Karen, desperate to salvage her reputation, took to social media, accusing me of being a toxic influence on her children and jealous of her perfect family. But the community Karen had tried so hard to impress wasn't buying it. People started commenting, sharing their own experiences. Remember when she demanded the soccer coach give Tommy MVP? She tried to get my kid kicked off the debate team for beating Lisa. She made those nasty comments about Laura being single and childless. The truth was out, and the community Karen once manipulated had turned against her. I filed for divorce, James said quietly, breaking me from my thoughts. The kids, they asked me to. Tommy said he feels safer at Grandma's house. Lisa hasn't had a panic attack since they moved out. I reached across the table with my good arm, squeezing his hand. You're doing the right thing. She's threatening to fight for full custody, James added, his tone heavy. Then, for the first time in days, he smiled. But the tutor's videos and the security footage, she doesn't stand a chance. Just then, the door swung open. Tommy and Lisa burst in, followed by Mom and Aunt Audrey, holding a giant handmade get well card. We made it ourselves, Lisa said proudly, her eyes shining. Looking at their happy faces, finally free from Karen's shadow, I knew everything would be okay. Sometimes family isn't about keeping the peace. It's about breaking free from the people who poison it. The whole ordeal ended faster than anyone expected. Karen took one look at the evidence and crumbled. The judge wasn't impressed by her, but their my baby's speech, especially after watching the tutor's videos. Joint custody, James told me over breakfast at the restaurant a few weeks later. But she has to take anger management classes and can only have supervised visits, for now. 3 months after what everyone calls the kitchen incident, my arm is healing well. The restaurant is busier than ever. When people learned why I was in the hospital, they started coming in just to show their support. Funny how karma works. Table 7 wants to thank the chef, Sarah called out, grinning. It was Tommy and Lisa, sitting with James and our parents. No more demands for special treatment, just 2 happy kids enjoying their burgers like everyone else. How's the arm, sweetie? Mom asked as I joined them. Better, I said, smiling. Physical therapy's helping. I ruffled Tommy's hair. Besides, I've got the best helpers now. These 2 have been folding napkins like pros. Lisa beamed. We like helping. And nobody yells if we do it wrong. The last we heard, Karen moved across town. She's still trying to play the victim on social media. But Karen's attempts to salvage her image backfired spectacularly when the tutor's videos went public. After that, she mostly stayed quiet, likely plotting her next perfect family somewhere else. You know what's weird? James said one evening, watching Tommy and Lisa laugh with Sarah. I kept trying to keep the peace, thinking it would help the kids, but they were the ones begging me to make it stop. Dad squeezed his shoulder. You did the right thing, son. Sometimes peace comes after the storm. Looking around my restaurant, at my real family, the regular customers who had become friends, and Tommy and Lisa finally acting like kids, I couldn't agree more. My arm had been broken, but it broke something else too. Karen's power over all of us. Who wants dessert? I asked, standing up. Chef's special, on the house. Can we help make it? Tommy asked eagerly. Sure can, buddy. No special treatment needed, just family helping family. And that's exactly how it should be. 6 months later, during our weekly family dinner, James dropped a bombshell. I met someone, he said quietly. Everyone froze for a moment before Tommy blurted out, Miss Anna. Dad, is it Miss Anna? The way James blushed told us everything. Lisa squealed, she's so nice. She never yells, and she helped me with my science project last week. I remember Anna. She'd been one of the first people to bring me a get well card after the kitchen incident. She never mentioned knowing Karen, just said she'd seen enough and wanted to show her support. We're taking it really slow, James explained, looking around nervously. She understands the kids need time. Time for what? Lisa asked, grinning. We love Miss Anna. She comes to all our school stuff anyway. Sarah, bringing over coffee, couldn't help but jump in. Oh, the nice lady who brings her class here for reading sessions. James, you dark horse. The kids couldn't stop talking about Anna, how she'd helped Tommy overcome his fear of public speaking and defended Lisa when kids teased her about Karen's social media meltdown. Each story painted a picture of someone completely different from Karen, kind, patient, and genuinely good. She asked about you, James told me later as we cleaned up. Wanted to make sure it wouldn't be weird, given everything. Weird? I said, shaking my head. James, the kids are glowing. When's the last time you saw them this excited about anything? He smiled softly. They asked if they could call her mom. Not now, but someday. Lisa said she wants a mom who builds people up instead of tearing them down. Out of the mouths of babes, Sarah chimed in, counting the day's receipts. The restaurant had become a sanctuary. Every Friday, Anna brought her kindergarten class for story time. They'd sit in a corner booth with milk and cookies, reading books about kindness and courage. Karen would have hated it, seeing common kids sitting where her precious ones used to demand special treatment. But that's the thing about toxic people. They can't stand seeing others happy without their permission. Last week, Karen drove by during story time. She saw James sitting with Anna and the kids, all of them laughing. Later, she called him crying about being replaced too soon. You know what Tommy said? James told me the next day. He said, Dad, we're not replacing her. We're upgrading our happiness. Smart kid. They both are. Watching them heal, watching James learn to trust again, and seeing our family come back stronger. It made everything worth it, even the broken arm. Sometimes the best revenge isn't about getting even. It's about getting better, moving forward, building something so beautiful that the people who tried to break you can't help but see what they lost.